Okay, so we've all gone into the big room, and there was a selection of 21 crystals of various sizes and shapes and colours, and you've chosen one. Now, what I'd like you to do now is we're going to do a little meditation to work with this particular crystal. So I'd like you, first of all, to in some way place it in your hand so it's comfortable. Okay? So it's in your hands, and also as you're holding it in your hands, feel the shape of the stone, its weight, its texture. Is it cool? Is it hot? So you're using your senses in your hands to get a feel for the crystal itself. And as you do so, just allow your eyes to close. So you're letting go of the external world and visual stimulus from without. As you're using your hands to start tuning into the crystal itself. And then just allowing your hands to hold this crystal so that you're also feeling its weight. Is it heavy? Is it light? As you're holding this crystal, just gently holding your crystal, start to open your own energy to the energy of this crystal. So it's as if this crystal has its own vibration, its own song, its own harmony, which it naturally radiates outwards, its own sound. And you're relaxing your own energy field, your own aura, to allow the energy of this crystal, the vibration, the sound, the song, to enter your own energy field. It's just a sense of relaxing your own energy and allowing yourself to feel in your own physical body, perhaps, in your energy field, where this crystal is resonating, vibrating with you. So if you're aware of chakras, perhaps you have a sense of it, the energy being felt in a chakra, or maybe the energy is resonating within your physical body in a particular area. Just allowing yourself to relax and feel the energy of the crystal in some place within your body. And as you feel the energies of this crystal resonating within you, be also aware of your own reactions, responses to this energy. Is this an energy you're comfortable with? Or perhaps there may be resistance. Just gently observing how you respond to the energy of this crystal. How does this energy feel for you? And now, as you hold this crystal in your hand, using your imagination, your inner eye, picture in your imagination this crystal, but it is growing larger and larger and larger, so large that you can actually step into this crystal. Using your imagination, the crystal so large that you can actually step in, physically step into the crystal. And once you have stepped into the crystal, you find within the crystal a crystal diva, a being of light and energy And this is the voice of the crystal. Standing before you now, a figure, the crystal diva, the diva of this crystal. And through choosing to work with this crystal, ask what gift, what wisdom, what insights the crystal has for you at this time. Asking the crystal diva what gifts it has for you. Perhaps what area of your life would be enhanced through the energy of this crystal. Perhaps why you have chosen this crystal. And perhaps it feels right for you to allow the crystal diva to work on your own energy field, to give you healing while you are within the crystal itself. And then slowly and gently saying goodbye to the crystal diva, stepping out of the crystal, and the crystal starts to become smaller and smaller and smaller in your imagination, smaller, and then returning to the physicality of the crystal within your hands. And then slowly and gently the crystal's energy withdraws from your own energy field, from your aura. The energy of the crystal now withdrawing from your own aura, your own energy field. And slowly and gently start to bring yourself back to the room, back to the physical body, back to the present moment. And as you do so, we shall count down from 10 to 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Coming back to the room, back to the physical body now, back to this present moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretching, taking a deep breath, opening your eyes when ready. Welcome back. We all back? Okay. So, we'll go this way round. So, what did you choose?
Zincite.
Zincite, okay. And how did that feel? What happened in that one?
It's like butterflies in a sacral.
Okay.
I'm very hot.
Okay. So there was 2 stages to that. There was the opening up your energy and allowing the energy of the crystal to come in, and then there was the visualization of actually stepping into the crystal. So how did the 2 feel?
Yeah, definitely the energy intensified as it got bigger.
Yeah.
And I felt it going back down again. And I felt like it's helping you move forward.
Okay.
Out of the rut.
Did you prefer working with the feeling sense as opposed to the visual sense? Or vice versa?
Fairly evenly balanced, really.
Okay. Okay. Annalise, how's that?
Yeah, felt it around sort of here.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't know which crystal I'm working with.
Emerald.
Emerald, okay. I felt it around here, and you said about resistance feeling. It did feel a bit sort of headachy sometimes. No, I didn't get a headache, but it did feel like a bit of resistance because it sort of was quite strong, you know, but not particularly. It wasn't unpleasant, but it wasn't particularly. And then sort of when I stepped in to the crystal, that sort of went sort of. and but I got that I need to work on maybe opening up towards like relationships and things like that.
Yeah.
Not fear. Fear being hurt.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Okay.
Sort of, that's what. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Lord is a lot about relating.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's probably why you got.
So I got hanging around my neck.
And in terms of there was the feeling sense and the visualization, did that sort of balance for you, or did you prefer the feeling to the visualization, or? Sorry, say that again. Okay. The reason I'm asking is that some people are more kinesthetic, i.e. they prefer feelings.
Yeah.
And they're not very visual. There's some people who are very visual, who they get lots of sort of like colours, or they or they go off on little journeys, and they're not really into the feeling sense. And there's some people who are balanced and they don't mind either. So what we did in that journey, there was a part which was the feeling, yeah, and there was a part which was visual. So in terms of the balance, did you prefer the visualization when it got bigger and bigger? And
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do. I've got to say, with meditation, sometimes you kind of think, especially guides around, oh right, I'm meant to be in the woods now. And, you know what I mean? It's, I've found. I've got to say that I've found it a little bit. I try and meditate every day. I try and do a visualization or meditation, and I'm getting better. But I wouldn't say I'm fantastic at it,
Yeah, okay.
because sometimes if my mind just doesn't want to focus on the visualisation, sometimes I just drift off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, and I'm thinking, oh well, but I'm meant to be, so sometimes I'm a feeling person, and I just get a lot of, I would say, I think if I'm going to, I'd say the feeling, but once I'd stepped in and the visualisation, that I got more from that than the first bit.
Part of this is, like you were saying, it's finding what works for you and when it works for you.
Yeah.
So you like that one?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
So Sharon,
I don't actually know what it is.
black tourmaline.
That's a surprise. I didn't even know it was that. I just saw it right away and knew that I needed it. Not that simple, really. I'm probably the opposite to you. As soon as I get into that sort of meditation state, I'm gone. And I just sort of felt I needed it to do that meditation with, really. I don't know why. The feeling bit, didn't do an awful lot. I mean, I felt it was cold, quite heavy. But as soon as I closed my eyes, I sort of felt almost like I was in half. Like my top bit was really light and fuzzy, and the bottom was darker. And then when I went into it, I felt that the darker bit sort of evened out, so it was kind of great all over, really. And came back okay, which is, I do have this trouble. I mean, I've got, everybody that I've ever been to has always said you must stay grounded. So I suppose maybe it's a fear of I've got to have black. I don't know, but it felt that I needed that. And the sort of message that came through was, that you can't always be floating around in the stars. If you're going to help people, you need to be grounded. And I think that's just me, really, which is bizarre. And I have to work quite hard at that.
Okay.
But very visual. So.
We'll be working a bit with grounding. Yeah.
I think that's probably my main sort of thing, really, that I seem to pick up things and go, which is lovely, and I love it, and that's half the problem. I don't necessarily want to stop doing it, but
Okay, and you didn't know what the stone was when you chose it?
No, I knew obviously it was black, and actually Louise, I went to her for some healing, and she said that she very rarely does it, and she got a huge great black tourmaline and put it on my crown chakra, and I've done that occasionally. I actually get to a stage where I can get quite shaky with it, so need to work on that.
Okay.
But no, I didn't know it was black tourmaline.
Right. So, Carol, what did you choose? Petersite.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was when I picked it. Felt very cool. And when I was first holding it, I had a sensation in my throat of like cold water trickling at the back of my throat, and I felt the need to swallow quite a bit. Then when I sort of enlarged it and went into it, I had lots of blue and gold light, very, very strong visual, and the message I got was believe in yourself and trust yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So that was good. So the feeling and the visuals for you, they're both okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes more of one and less of the other, and other times it switches.
Okay. Michelle, what did you have?
I had smoky quartz.
Oh, smoky quartz. Grounding.
Because I am the same as you.
I,
Yeah. And I just obviously really needed to do a bit of grounding, because as soon as I picked it up, I couldn't stop. I was yawning, my eyes were streaming, and that's just me working it really. And just met the diva and said that I can go there and ground whenever I want to. So
Okay, that's good.
yeah.
Now, we're recording this, so if anybody did say, "Oh, could you let me have the recordings for this?" That's fine. Okay. If you wanted to get some paper to start writing down notes and stuff, that's fine as well. So, because we're going to start going into information that you can put in your book now. Okay. So one of the questions in here is meditation. Using or choosing stones for meditation, how you would do the meditation. And there's also the question of choosing crystals themselves. Okay. So when you went into the room and you were presented with about 21 stones and crystals, how did you choose them? What was it that attracted you?
I didn't really see the others when I went in there, just saw the right way.
Quite
Yeah.
visual.
So is it a visual sense for you?
It was for me. I
Yeah.
didn't really feel the need to pick them up when he did it, because everyone else was.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't really. So it's very visual.
So when you're in a shop choosing crystals, is it always a visual sense for you?
Usually, sometimes I'd say usually. Sometimes I will get like a draw with an energy, something that draws you that way when you haven't actually seen it. So I suppose that must be an energy draw. But yeah, usually with me it's visual.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm usually visual, and then once I pick it up, if I pick it up and I can't put it down again, then I know that I've got the right one.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be visually attracted, I'll pick it up and I think, oh no. But normally it's pick it up and oh yes, that's it. I can't put it down, so it's got to be the one.
So if you had a box of, say, turquoise, would you
pick up different ones?
okay, so you'll see the turquoise and be drawn to it visually, but you'd have to pick them up for each particular one to find out the ones for you. Okay. How's it over this side?
I'm a bit the same as that, and also I really have no idea. I just see a stone and have to pick it up. Basically, but the visual counts as well.
Yeah. But the picking up for you is very important.
Yeah.
Okay. Annalise, how's it work for you?
There was loads of spear shapes, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I just didn't want one of them. I just knew. So I went sort of a different shape, so obviously visual. And then, but normally I will pick one up and I'll just see how it feels in my hand,
Yeah.
Because if you're in a crystal shop and there's loads, sometimes you pick one up and think, oh no, But so I'll do a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing about the choosing the crystals is people are different. Yeah. So visual sense, colour is important. Picking up the touch, the feel, and not just the feel in the physical touch sense, but also the energetic feel is important. And when it's the choosing crystals, it's very much a case of finding out what works for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be put off just because something's written in a book that doesn't resonate with you, it can be different for everybody.
Yeah. Now, the way we approached it is that we didn't tell you, that's, for example, that's jade or that's black tourmaline. So you're allowing your intuitive sense to pull towards you what you need at that moment in time. Now, you can choose crystals by reading a book. Oh, this is what feels like I need, or etc., etc. But then you're coming in on the mental body level. Yeah. Now, you've got to be careful a little bit with books, because first off, different books say different things. Yeah? So there's a contradiction. Which one do you believe? And the next one is sort of what your mind says you need, and what your heart and your instincts and your intuition say you need might be different. Okay? Now that's not to say that you'll be looking at a book and think, oh no, that really does feel, and I need to get some of that. Yeah. So the books are important, but to also remember that when you go in and you pick something up, the resonance is between you and the stone, and you've got a unique energy, and the stone's got a unique energy. Yeah. So you may actually discover stuff about a stone that's not in the books. Yeah. And also you may discover that there's stuff that for this stone works for you and nobody else, because it's the interaction between you. Yeah. So the book learning is important, but equally important, or maybe more important, is your own sense of what works for you. Okay? So the choosing, we've got the visual sense, colour. Colour is very important. We'll be doing a bit on colour later on this morning. Colour is very important. The shape and the look. So for Annalise, it was like, not those ones, I'm drawn to these shapes. So shape is also a very important thing. But then the touching, the feeling, the picking up, yeah. And I'm sure with shops, it's sort of like people want to pick them up, but at the same time, because of the practicalities, you can't have everybody picking up all the most expensive stuff in the shop, really, can you?
We get them out of the cupboard and then yeah. It's all about the place.
I've never been refused to hold something.
No,
Okay.
it's
in
very...
any of the shops. If I said, I'd like to look at that piece, take it out, hold it, do what you like, because I wouldn't be able to buy it unless I held it.
Yeah,
okay.
And I find that in some ways the rocks seem to choose people.
Mm-hmm.
The other way around.
Yeah.
Well, that's it as well. So that I picked up stones, I think, I'm not meant to buy this. Yeah. I quite like to, but I'm not meant to. It's not. And Becky brought a stone back that she was going to buy off me, and she was like, "No, I've worked with it. It's not meant for me. It's meant for somebody else." So you will also get that sense, yeah. Also, to mention at this point, is being aware that there are stones you're attracted to, and there's stones that you're not attracted to. Okay. So, for example, do you know what unakite looks like?
Yes.
I'll just see if we've got some. A while back, this is going on for about 11 or 12 years ago, I had this thing about I did not like the look of unakite. I couldn't be bothered with it. I just didn't want it at all. This is unakite. It's green.
I have
green.
got some. I just didn't know what it was called.
Well, I always think it's got a really 60s groovy
feel.
But for me, it was like, I don't want to have anything to do with it until somebody put it on me and I jumped off the table, because it was like, and it's also actually about love, making it practical, bringing it in. And the issue for me at that point was sort of finding a job that I loved and I could do well, etc., etc. So I needed to integrate that energy to allow me to move forward. It was showing me a part of myself I didn't want to see. So the thing to be aware of is there's the stones that you really love.
Well, I always want blues of my greens, I've sort of recently got more fond of these.
But there's also the stones and crystals that you go.
And there's the stones and crystals that make you go completely mental as well. So be aware of those.
So there's the stones are reflecting back to you something about yourself. So you may go, oh, I'm not sure about this. I don't like jade. Now that's okay. But also to say to yourself, well, this is therefore telling me something about myself that I will need to work with at some point. May not be appropriate to work with it now, but it's telling me something. I'll just put it at the back of my mind, so when it feels right, I know that I've got to work with this because it's showing me. It's like relationships, You're in relationships to learn about yourself. The crystals, it's like a stone tarot. The crystals will also reflect back to you your issues, the areas where you're strong, the areas where you're weak. Yeah. And to be a clear therapist, and by that I mean that you're out there and working in a safe way, you need to be aware of your own issues. Okay? So for example, I was once with a colour therapist who, I hate red and I don't want anything to do with it. Well, you're a colour therapist and you should be integrating all the energies, you know what I mean? And this was a woman who had trouble with money, people were abusing her left, right and centre. She spent so much time sort of trying to get the money situation sorted out, or going to the lawyers, or because she just refused to actually deal with the issues around red. She just didn't want anything to do with it. Now, if you went to a colour therapist who had issues around a particular area, you're not going to have a good time because, the trouble is she would project her issues onto her students, which is what happened. So when you're a therapist or a teacher or whatever, you need to go, okay, there are my issues and I've got to deal with them, Because if you don't deal with them, then you project them out on your clients or your students or whoever, So being aware that I don't like this one, I need to work with it at some point. Maybe not now, So the stones will tell you the good stuff, but also the weaknesses as well.
I've got a bit of a love-hate thing going on with moldavite at the moment.
I know. I've just been spun off the planet by wildfire.
I had a piece in
I can work with it for a little while and then I've got to leave it and then I go back to it again. But Louise said to me, she said that's because it's a transformation stone. She said if you're not ready for it, she said it'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malachite was another one of mine. I've cracked that now. But for a long time I couldn't go near it. It made me completely mental.
No, I like Malachite now because I've worked with it and I integrated that essence. But be aware that there
are some stones that will always press your buttons just because of your energy makeup and because of theirs, and it's just how it sits. Yeah, moldavite is one for me.
So, choosing crystals, okay. There is visual, there is touch, physical touch, the energy behind a stone, its shape, What else might there be? A bit more practical.
Weight,
size and weight.
And price as well, Price is a consideration, because we'll have to talk about the practical stuff as well as the energetic stuff. It's price. For example, there was a really nice Heliodor. I've actually got it now. That was in the shop up in, was it Glastonbury? And it's a really nice specimen. But one of the students was saying, "Is this expensive?" And it's like, yeah, you can get it cheaper. So that you don't always have to, unless you really are drawn to something. You can shop around. You can be practical about things. And also, if you need a piece of turquoise and there's only one piece of turquoise in the shop, then it's okay to buy that piece of turquoise, do you know what I mean? Unless, of course, there's some really strong feeling that, no, it's not meant for me. So there's the, energetic attraction, but there's also the practical stuff, am I being ripped off here, Or, is it the right stuff, because we'll touch on this as well. There's
where did it come from?
Where did it come from, so there's all those things to consider when you're choosing.
Also, some of the earthy ones do smell as well, like the mocha balls and fugolite and the ones.
Sulphur smells.
That you've also got. It's like the mocha balls. I love having those in my pocket because when they heat up, when you move, you get a waft of it coming up. It's like really earthy. It's like they've got a smell. Some of them too.
And also, there are some stones that are not real crystals, and the ability to pick them up and actually feel, has this got an energy or not, is also part of your way of, is this a genuine article? Because if you pick it up and you can feel the energy resonating in you, then there's something there. If you pick it up, don't care, what they say about it. It's like, well, it has no influence on my energy, so it won't work for anybody else. It doesn't feel genuine. So your own ability to feel the energy within yourself, is important. Now, in terms of the meditation, like I said, there are some people who are very visual, and there's some people who are very feeling sense, and that's called being kinesthetic. So, once again, meditation is a personal thing,